Hello everyone. In today's video we're going to replace the windshield washer pump in this BMW F15 X5. I think this is a 2018 or 2017. The washer tank leaks. It actually is not the tank, it's the pump. You'll know you have a problem when, of course, your washer fluid will go down really fast, and you also get a little puddle of water right around here behind the right front wheel. The washer reservoir is right in here behind this fender. This fender has to come off in order to do this. These are the tools you're going to need for this job. You're going to need a drill with a drill bit in it because you have to drill out pop rivets. You're also going to need replacement pop rivets. These are right here. I ordered these off of Amazon. If you can see the label, they are BMW plastic body pop rivets. You're going to need a pop rivet gun. You can also buy this on Amazon or from Harbor Freight or wherever you'd like. All you have to make sure is whichever one you buy has a large enough mandrel. These are mandrels to accept the pop rivets. This one does. Okay. I'll actually have a separate video after this video showing how to install the pop rivets. You need trim panel tools, get a lot of other push pins to come out. You need a 20mm and a 30mm Torx bit, screwdriver, 1/4 inch with a couple of long extensions. Some of the bolts are quite deep in there. 10mm, 8mm socket, 1/4 inch ratchet, and a 17mm to take off the wheel with. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you this disclaimer. I did film this video backwards. I did not film it when I was taking it apart. I filmed it when I was putting it back together and then reversed the videos. I do believe you can use this video to do this job. However, fair warning, so that might be why some of the things look strange. I did go over everything that I did though. Thank you. Jack up the car. Put it on, safely secure it with jack stands and remove the front wheel. You cannot do this job with the front wheel on. You will be in the wheel arch quite a while. You must remove the wheel arch covers. The wheel arch covers are held on by 3 8mm screws. But don't be deceived that it's that easy to get these off. I actually think this is the most difficult portion of this whole job. So what holds it on are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I think there's one down here, 8 plastic pop rivets. And how do you get plastic pop rivets out? Just like you do any pop rivet, you have to drill them out. So you're going to take your drill and you're going to drill through the middle of the pop rivet. Choose a bit that's about the diameter of the center pin. You're just going to drill straight through it, drill the pin out, and then this part will either come out with a drill or you can just reach in there with your trim tool or screwdriver and pop it right out. These are not reusable. You will need to buy them. I ordered them on Amazon, and along with a pop rivet gun for plastic pop rivets. You need the BMW body plastic pop rivets, and all the rest of them that come in the kits are too small. Then you're going to have to mess with these tabs. So inside of there you can see that there's a tab, and the way I did the tabs, you're going to work all the way around. There's a tab there. Let's see if I can get my little finger light in here. There's a tab there. These two are pretty easy, of course, because you have it. So I reach in there and I pull down on the tab to release it, to pop the wheel arch out. And then as you work your way up here, you're just going to pull this, you come around over here, you're going to pull this top part back, and you're going to have to crawl in there and look for where the tabs are inside of there, and keep working your way around. I would not recommend trying to yank this apart. I think that was possible back when the fenders were made out of metal. You could just pull them off. I think you would damage the fender or the wheel arch cover. So take your time and work your way around, prying those tabs down and pulling these wheel arches off. You got to get it off all the way around. Open both of the front doors. Underneath the car, you've got to loosen this side trim floorboard trim. You do not need to loosen it in the back. You do need to loosen it in the front. It's just going to swing out so you can get to some more bolts under here. Under here is one 8mm bolt, followed by these push pins. These push pins have a rubber O-ring on them. Don't lose the little O-ring. You can see the O-ring right there. Just pop them out with your trim tool. 1, 2, 3, 4. You might even be missing some. They get knocked off for various reasons. Actually, there looks like there's 6 of them total, so I'm missing a few of them. That one won't go in. There we go. Once you've got the 8mm bolt loose, I didn't film this either, so sorry guys, but you're going to need, there are tabs like this tab that go straight in here. You're going to need to work your trim tool up under there. Try not to scratch the fender, and pry this away to where this thing, once it starts moving, it just kind of, the whole thing pops off suddenly, and you're going to pop this out and just let it hang. 8mm bolt. Also, when you're putting it back together, remember that the fender liner goes on top of this. I got it backwards. It was a real pain in the butt. Remove these 4 push pins from this piece of trim. With your little trim tool, just go up underneath it and pop them off. Don't lose them. Because under there are some important screws that we need to get to. Okay. Also, be careful of this little cover. This little cover is up here on the fender, and it covers, I think, the headlight adjustment or something. You might as well take that off because it's going to pop off anyway, and you're going to want to put it back. Thank you. You must completely remove the front inner fender liner, which has 8mm screws, 2 different size washers. They have the big washers, and we have the little washers. Must remove those. We also have 2 number 10 plastic nuts, one there, and one there. There's another 10 up there. Also, you need to remove all the screws for the rear inner fender liner. And I would go ahead and open this and unplug the wire off of this, because this is just going to dangle inside. You're not going to remove it, but you do have to loosen it because this part comes out with the fender. Okay, so take out the front inner fender liner completely, and loosen, and just let this one hang, and keep track of your screws. Remove the 2 8mm bolts, one here and one here, from the bottom of the fender. This is why we had to pull this back. Boom and boom. Inside the passenger's door, there are 3 bolts. Let's see. Let me use my tool, my newly magnetized tool. If you watched my magnetization video, there's one there, one there, and one there. I'm sure you've watched other videos too about how one of these holds the washer bottle on, yada yada yada. It does not on this car. None of these bolts have anything to do with the washer bottle. They all 3 must come out. Also, be careful, in a little while, this is where the foam rubber seal for the fender meets the body. It's back there. You're going to have to pay extra special close attention to that when you put all this back together. I will mention it probably 5 more times in the video. Thanks. Alright, so now from underneath, now that you have the fender liner out, there's 3 bolts sitting here. Sorry. You have this bolt, and this bolt. This is a T30. These 2 are smaller, I think T25s or something. Those 3 have to come out. This was the greatest discrepancy from any documentation I found. So make sure you take those 3 bolts out. They are different. This one is very long, like 1.5 inches long, or 1 inch, so make sure you keep it separated from the other bolts. Remove this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and this bolt from the fender. Also, way up here is another bolt that is different. This is into the A-pillar. Let me try to get this one out to show you. This bolt is just a regular screw. All of these bolts are some sort of special screw for screwing into plastic, I assume. Let me get my tool. You see, these have a washer. This one does not. Make sure you keep the bolts separated and go into the right thing. I also want to talk to you about these nylon washers. The front 4 bolts all have that one, that one, that one, and that one. Have nylon washers underneath them. Do not lose those washers and make sure they go back in. The top one does not have one. We've taken everything apart. We've got all the bolts on the top. We've got the 3 bolts in here and the 3 bolts in the door. We're ready to take the fender off. We're going to open the door. We're going to start at the back. You're going to pry the back loose. And then you're going to bring it out from the front. You have to be careful right here. Pull out the back a little bit because there are some pins that go through from the headlight into the fender. Okay? Work your way off. Fender comes off. We're going to take it. We're going to put it in the back of the car for safety. Okay, so now that we have the fender off, you can see the washer bottle. We'll go ahead and start replacing the pump. So this one's obviously been leaking right here. You can see the calcium coming down and everything. I already went ahead and drained it earlier. I can see water pouring out of there, and it's been leaking for a long time. So this pump is bad. There's another pump up here for the headlight washers. I recommend when you're ordering the parts to go ahead and get a new seal for this one if it's not leaking, and I ordered a new pump and seal for this one. All you got to do is pry out the pump with your finger. Of course, I'm doing this one-handed. Let me see if I can hold this. I'm going to remove the wire. It's just a simple little clip. And then these black plastic clips, all you do is you slide them forward with your fingers and the hose will pop right off. Don't lose the little clips. This is why I don't recommend trying to do this without taking the fender off. There's all these little parts in here that'll get broken. Pop off, clean the area, and install the new pump. Go backwards. I have the new pump right here. So we'll go ahead and get that installed while you're watching. I bought my pump from BMW because I don't want to have to do this whole job again. So here's the new pump. This is the seal for the headlight washer pump. This is the seal right here for the windshield washer pump. Seal just goes on there like that, slides over the end, just like that. Look up here, push the clips down, the hose just snaps on then, close the clip, hose just snaps on there. Connect the wire. Connect the wire. Put the pump back in the hole. Push it back into place. Make sure it goes all the way down, seated tightly. There is a little ledge in the back that pushes down on the pump. You can see it right there. Make sure the pump snaps under that. And I am going to put some water in this. Well, I got to replace this one. I'm going to put some water in and make sure it doesn't leak. Get back. So I removed the the headlight washer pump, and the grommet did not come out. So I'm going to pry it out with a screwdriver. Shouldn't be a problem. And install the new one. The other one came out with the pump. This one does not cooperate. There's that one, which gets replaced with this one. Let's see if it fits. Okay, we got everything ready. I've got water in the tank. Here's the headlight washer module under its ledge. Like I said earlier, got the new seal in, wires in all the clips. We've got the windshield washer pump, got it under its ledge, got the hoses connected in their clips, and no leaking. So let's give it a test squirt. I will say, priming this pump is a little more difficult than you might think. I did this earlier. There we go. We got squirt. I pulsed it with short pulses several times before I could actually get the pump to engage. But everything's good. It's time to start putting everything back together. One thing I'm going to remind you about is don't forget to put this piece of trim on the back of the fender. It goes back here and keeps it off the body. Make sure you put that in. Don't forget, you can see where it goes right here along this edge, so make sure you put that back in. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you liked it. I hope it all works good. Go Astros. And like my little finger lights.